Okay. Oh my God, what the f- is that? All right. Thank you for tuning in to DBYT Podcast. I'm Taisha, and today we have
Jamal. Jamal Coles, the one and only. Glad to be here.
The one and only?
The only one.
All right, cool. So today we are going to talk about men complexes. So, yeah, and ideologies and all that good stuff. So if you're interested, stay tuned. If not, we'll see you soon.
Been watching you a long time.
Oh, my God. You've been watching me for how long?
That's to be disclosed.
Oh.
I've been watching.
How you been watching my show?
I've actually seen a couple now that I've got on the YouTube that you told me about.
On the YouTube.
Yeah, so, not usually around service, but I watch them and I like what you're doing.
Okay. Well, thank you. So, as we know, you've been gone for like 50 years. So
5 years.
550, tomato.
Okay.
What have you been up to?
It's the military life. Like, it's taken up, like, a lot of time away from family. Well, I'm out there, trying to build a life and handle business and stuff just so I could see where I need to be in life. So, does it suck? Yeah, because I missed out on so much, like, family-wise, friends-wise. It's just, but I'm just happy I got a chance to come back now, though.
Yeah, I bet that's cool because it has been a long time. So what direction are you seeing yourself going in since you've been in there? Like, where are you trying to go?
Honestly, I'm just going to wherever I find the best opportunity to better myself. No specific direction because, like, with the field I'm in, it's like I go anywhere, but my goals still stay the same.
Does that feel freeing? Like, how does that feel, like, to have that? Like, oh, I got options. Because, I'm not going to say a lot of us. I got options, too. But not, like, your options are different than mine. So how does that feel?
I don't know. It feels great because, like, I control every aspect without having, like, nothing holding me back and stuff like that. So it's like when I'm ready to start on that goal and focus on that, I could literally lock in. So it's good.
That's a cool answer. Where are some of the places that you've traveled to?
I've been to Guam, Singapore, Japan, Thailand, South Korea. My favorite one's Singapore. Like,
why?
The scenery out there is amazing. Like people who never left the States, I will always suggest leaving the States. Like, you literally have to see the world before coming back here. Like, it makes you want to. It's sometimes a question, like, do you want to be here?
Do you want to stay here? I think a lot of people already don't want to stay here.
I mean, yeah, with shit going on.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is. I mean, yeah, it's like we have our pros, I guess you could say, living in the States. But like you said, you got to kind of leave to see what else is out there. So, okay, if you had to live in Singapore, would you live in there or no?
Would I live in Singapore?
Yeah.
Probably not, because it's still places like soon I'll be leaving, like, the Europe area. Like, I haven't seen Spain, Greece, Italy. Like, those are places that I've heard so many recommendations about staying just because of the culture and the freedom of certain things that they have there. So I haven't really put a specific spot yet, but it's definitely somewhere over there that I definitely would like to be.
All right, so we're going to get into the relationship aspect because that's why we are here. Okay, so as far as, like, relationships go, do you feel like there are any specific roles or ways that that they should be?
I think there's always a foundation as far as roles, but you kind of, when you're in a relationship, you kind of figure out what works best for you guys. So someone might have expertise, but I think you should also pick up on the expertise to make you grow.
Give me an example. Like, I guess more so, like, I'm pretty sure you've been in relationships. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful, all types, right? Yeah. So, like, what is your ideal, like, thing? Like, what is your thing in your relationship? Like, what is that thing that they'd be like, oh, yeah, he can do this really great?
For me, personally?
What would your person say? Like, Yeah, he's really great at this. Like, that's his thing.
Well, I guess I would say two. One, I love to listen. I love listening. Like, there's nothing better than one to sit down and understand someone versus, like you said, acting upon and not knowing. Then now you're confused about why they're either upset or confused about what are you doing. Then two is just like get it by any means. And what I mean by that is like, there's no excuse for why stuff shouldn't get done when you have someone. There's no excuses because they're dependent on you. You're dependent on them. Whether it's with your goals or their goals or whatever it is, it's like you have to lock in
Mm-hmm.
if
How
you
do
really want something.
how do you like determine what goal comes first between the two of you? You know what I mean? Like, if they have big aspirations and you have big aspirations, like, how do you work on it separately, or do y'all work on it one by one? How do you navigate that?
Uh, that depends on the conversation you guys have. Like if it like kind of lands in the same area, you kind of like could bounce back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
or you know prioritize it as far as like just the long term or short term of it. So
Okay.
I think that plays short term, long term plays a big part because like she wants to go to school, but I want to buy a new car.
Right.
Obviously, school I feel like is more important. I'd rather someone go to school versus me get a new car and I deal with what I have.
Hmm. That's an interesting perspective. I'm gonna pick up on your example. That is huge.
Ain't no surprise back here. No
Oh,
surprises.
dang. It's gone.
Yeah.
How something that big okay, whatever. Anyways, your example was the car in the school. Now, is it that y'all have transportation already? Okay.
Yeah, we have
Then,
transportation
okay.
already.
Okay.
Yeah, so school is priority. You just got to deal with what you have.
Okay. So I've spoken to some of the women about like femininity and like masculinity and all that stuff. Do you think that, like, what is your definition of like a masculine man? Like, what traits does he have?
A masculine man.
Yeah.
I don't know. A masculine man is not just dominant, but I think a masculine man is more of like someone whose presence and actions, kind of define him as I'm the man,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever the situation is. So that's a short sum of. I can't go too many traits because there's different masculine men.
What you mean by that? How would you like? What does that? Yeah. What does that mean?
Like me personally, I think myself masculine, but
And why?
I would not come off as masculine.
On whose standards?
On whose standards?
Yeah. Why you think you wouldn't come off as like a masculine person or man?
Because one, I would say a typical woman would think muscles, nice job, works out. No, they're more material than actual the other aspects that kind of matter as far as masculinity
You think so?
in my head.
Okay. I I wouldn't say, well, at least for me, because like you said, you can't speak for nobody else. But like when I think of masculinity, I just think like had to put you down. Cause I start talking with my hands. But like when I think of like masculinity in men, I feel like it is a difference because I feel like I carry masculine traits at times.
Right.
But I'm not big. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like by your definition, I wouldn't be masculine. I would be feminine by the physical appearance, I guess. But I think I look more so at their mindset to see if somebody's masculine or not, because there are men who think that they could kind of trump over you and kind of like demand things or make it seem like, oh, it has to be X, Y, and Z and da 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 da. But I feel like a masculine man would know how to allow somebody to receive their information and take it like that. Like they actually have leadership skills, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Instead of being like, oh, it's gonna be like this because I said so and I'm the man. Like that's but like, cause there's somebody, we have conversations like this at work, and their ideology is way different than what I would have looked at. You know what I'm saying? Like, their thing is, oh, my woman gonna do X, Y, and Z. She can't cheat on me. She gotta be 100% loyal. And then when you flip the cards around, it's like, on him, he's like, oh, well, I didn't say I had to be that way. So he doesn't, I don't feel like, I think his definition of masculinity is more of a patriarchal,
Like a dictatorship.
yeah, like, for real. And it's like, that's not the kind of man I would want. Some people might look at that like, oh, he's taking charge, da 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 da. But I don't see that in that way. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of going that way as far as the mindset. Like me, I'm more like that. Like I'm the mindset as far as the masculinity wise. Cause I don't need to. Like I said, I don't need to show you. I don't need to show the world that I'm masculine. As long as you know.
Like
and
your
understand.
partner, right?
Yeah. As long as we know that I'm masculine, I don't need to show the world that.
I feel that. I feel like a lot of judgment is passed on to men who don't necessarily even know why sometimes. Like, because the world, they be tripping. Because
Well,
everybody wants everything their way. And if it's not, now it's all this type of chaos and everything. And it's like, relax. I don't know. That's how.
Nah, you're not wrong. It's definitely like that, and I think it needs to get fixed.
Yeah.
It's a bad trait because a lot of young people in relationships are picking up like that, and most of them they learn it from somewhere.
Yeah.
Most of them pick that up from somewhere from somebody, and then they pass it on and thinking this is how a man is supposed to act. When you're supposed to find your own path as a man because you're not gonna always be around people to lead you like that. So, and then some people don't even grow up like that and figure it out on their own. And it depends on the influence you have around you with that.
I like that you said like they have to find their own path because I think a lot of people like to blame it on social media and rappers and things of that nature. But it's like, look at all the influences that you do have. You have teachers. You might have somebody who work at a job that's older than you, or you can really learn from anybody. So maybe the kid that you see got initiative. Like, dang, I don't have that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they have different. I don't feel like age is more so like a factor of telling you like, oh yeah, I can get wisdom from this person because they're older. But I think it still plays on the mindset, like, and how they are. Cause I learn a lot of stuff from a lot of different people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but bring it back. I was talking to somebody on earlier episode, and she was talking about how she wants to become more feminine, right? And I asked her, I was like, so like that all of these men are saying the same thing, like, oh, you're too much of a you act too masculine, basically. What are the things that women do that show them like, oh yeah, I'm a soft woman, I'm a approachable woman, I am somebody that is relationship ready? Like, what are some of those things for you, of course? Because obviously speaking on your experiences. But yeah.
First thing is sacrifice.
Ooh.
First thing is sacrifice. That lets me know off the rip that, you're ready for a relationship. You're showing me that, you have some feminine traits because when women already have what they want and, they can do for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
they just want someone for company, not really need them. They just kind of want them there.
Is that a bad thing?
That's not depending on your situation. It's not a bad thing, but if you're wanting to be with someone, you're gonna have to sacrifice some of those traits and kind of just figure out how to mesh both, and then let the person know, like, hey, look, I have established myself and stuff like that, but I do want someone to be in my life and not necessarily take charge, but we can be in charge together.
Mm. It keeps bringing me back to the same person, because it's like you have, obviously it depends on the man, obviously, but it's like when I think of this one specific person, it's like he'll say stuff like, I need you to cook, I need you to clean, I need you to do this, do that, do this, even if it's for his kids and her kids, because the person that I'm referring to has two separate sets of kids, but they have a blended family, I guess you could say. And it's like, I asked him like, so you telling me that your girl gotta wash your grown son's clothes? He was like, yes, she's the woman. And I'm like,
You're born the wrong era.
okay, and I, because that's where my head was going, and I'm like, I don't know if people are taking traditional, and that's another thing. Even when I speak on traditional values and things, what tradition, whose tradition, what time period are we speaking of? You know, because I think things are changing, especially with the fact, like you just said, like women can provide for themselves and they can build more for themselves now than they could compared to the 50s and 30s and, you know, times when they couldn't even vote and things of that nature. So it's like, how, I guess, I don't know. Find it.
Yeah.
Find
Grab
it. I'm trying. It's like, I guess that in a nutshell, it's kind of hard on women like her or me because we do have more masculine traits and we can do things. But it's like sometimes men come into our lives and they want to kind of take over and like kind of change that. Like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's like, why? Why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. It's a weird little thing when you're trying to date or you're trying to get to know somebody, especially when you don't have to necessarily depend on them. And it's like, what do you do from there? Especially if you still want to be somebody's girl, but they not really, they not hearing you for real. I don't know.
And that's why I said, that's why I'm glad I grew up around my mother, my aunts, and even my sisters, where they were teaching me a better man is a man who listens.
Okay. Would you say that's one of the like most standout lessons that they've taught you growing up?
Most definitely. You would never go wrong listening, comprehending, understanding, and then act in that order. You will never go wrong.
Okay. Getting into the next segment, we're talking about trust. A little bit of trust and openness. So, why do you think it's important to establish that in what era of talking to somebody do you feel it's important to get that trust established or that openness established?
I think the open part should be from the jump.
Okay.
Because one, what do you have to hide? You're already taking a chance meeting someone who you think is attractive and you might be attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not open from there, what else will you not be open about later on?
Some people have this is something that I've learned in the past 2 years where I have my life and it's like, I'm not going to say it's simple, but it's not what their life be. And they life be turned up to the max.
There's a lot of people like that.
And I didn't realize that until I got older and I started like working and meeting different people like that. And like they'll tell me their stories like, do I want to say this? I do. One person had told me, he was like, oh yeah, because at one point in time I was on cocaine. I was doing this. It was a lot. And I was just like,
like be turned up.
Jaw to the floor. I swear. I was like, how did you find time to, who sold you this? Like, what? And he told me his story and I was just like, wow. And he's, what did he tell me? I wanted to say it was at one point of time, because like looking on the outside, you would just think he was a black man. And then next thing you know, he started speaking like Spanish. And I was like, bro, where'd that come from? He was like, oh, I'm Dominican. I'm like, oh, didn't I know? Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes when I be thinking about, like, I think of America, and I'm like, you know how we always separate every single thing. But then, like, my mind hasn't, well, it has now, but it used to didn't comprehend, like, yeah, people can look different just because they don't look like the typical.
Right.
And it just blew my mind. I don't know. It blew my mind. But but that type of openness, I feel like can only come with like friendships and stuff. And I only say that because I feel like when I think about building something with somebody, I do think of friendship first, because if everything hits the fan, I need to know that we can revert and go back to that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I see where people go into relationships or whatever, it's good, It's great. Then it gets really, really bad. And they can't even stand to talk to each other, can't look at each other, can't do nothing because they hate that person as much as they love them.
And I think that's where the talking stage, like people take the talking stage for like granted.
Mm.
Like
Expand on that.
people talk, like it sounds like critical, but it's like people talk to talk during the talking stage. They're
Mm-hmm.
not actually talking to, like you said, build that friendship or that somewhat little bond or whatever to kind of, have a foundation when talking to someone. So they'll just talk to be talking, and then, oh, let's go on a date. And it's like you're out there with a complete stranger.
Right.
Versus you already like, oh man, like I gotta love his personality. I know something he likes to do. I feel like I could be comfortable more. I don't. You're still taking a shot going out, with them, but cause you're still technically a stranger to him, but you feel a little bit more comfortable now that some type of friendship
Has been
has been
established.
established.
Yeah. Yeah. I say like even I watch shows like
I know you do.
like
Yeah.
Love Island and Love is Blind and like the social experiments of it because I'm really intrigued on how people can build that foundation. Like you seen Love is Blind? That is
I've seen that.
insane to
I've
me.
seen it a lot.
It's I watch like I gotta watch the most recent season, but I'm just like I don't doubt that those people be falling for those people, cause like I think back to like my childhood and like oh you talked to this person from this school and this person, you know what I'm saying? And we were
Yeah.
young, so it ain't like we could just be like oh I'm about to pull up on you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I be like dang, cause I used to feel the feels. I used to be like wow I really like this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like I don't doubt that they can fall for each other in that amount of time, especially when you have like no outside influence. You don't have your phone in there. You don't have no distraction. The only thing that you see is either other women or other men at that initial stage. That is insane to me. I don't know, but
I think it's cool.
I think it's cool
I
too.
I think it's cool. It shows it shows who you really are. Like because you don't have any influences with as far as what decisions you make,
Okay.
what comes out your mouth, stuff like that. Like whatever you say is literally on you.
Mhm.
You can't revert, go talk to nobody, get some help. It's literally like, all right, I have to literally think about what I'm gonna say before I say it to this person.
I agree with you to an extent because it's like even though you don't have nothing to hide from in those rooms, but people hid that first season of
Oh
Love
yeah,
is Blind.
they definitely
And
did.
I remember watching it, and I was just in awe because like like it was such a new show, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, like what?" When they was at that pool, and that man was like, "Oh well, yeah, I'm bisexual." Like
Oh yeah,
you didn't think to add that because that's a part of who you are. Like, let me be the determiner of if I want that type of person because if I had known that that is a factor, I feel like that plays into it. You weren't being transparent with me. You were probably being honest. Like if I asked you, "Oh, do you like this or like that?" You probably would have told me. But I feel like you need to be transparent with me. Let me know what's going on, right? Because that's
nah,
important,
that's right. And I don't, I feel you on that too. Like don't pick and choose when you want to be honest.
right?
Like just you never know. Like cause they might say something like you honestly might not ever knew back. Like what if that would have turned around and they said something wild? You like oh, like now y'all both like
I
awkward.
exactly.
That awkward moment right there. You're both like, dang, you was a serial killer and I'm bisexual. Like what's going on? Like
Right. Like, oh, you killed 3 people.
oh
Noted. Like,
yeah.
but that I feel like, and especially in experiments like that, where it's like, I already don't see you, so I'm already taking a chance on. Cause me personally, I do feel like looks are important. I'm
No,
not gonna sit up
you're
here.
not. Look, we talk all this. I just want someone real nice. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we get it. But what is,
After, yeah,
what's your desires? Like,
yeah.
what is your desires telling you?
Cause it's like, bro, you could have, and this is like situational. Like I know a lot of who was I talking to? I don't remember who I was talking to. Y'all know I talked to a lot of people, but they were talking about like, oh, how it's harder for men to find love and everything. And I was like, you got to know the woman that you talk to, because a lot of times I feel like
Most
sometimes
definitely.
men,
Most definitely.
especially well-established men that have money and things of that nature or have resources, sometimes they're not looking for the plain Jane girl, and that could be the woman that loves you to death, but you wouldn't know because you are looking for Betsy with the big booty and no morals. So it's like, what do we do as those plain Janes when people be like, oh, I can't find love, I can't do this, I can't do that? Well, are you looking in the right place? Because they quit to say that to us. I ain't gonna cap, but man be like, oh, you just looking in the wrong places. And I was like, am I though? Like, or is people wearing a mask and they pretending to be something that they're not?
I think it's a little bit. It's a little bit of both. Like men in those positions and stuff like that, they see you, but they're not gonna come say
They're not.
nothing.
They're not gonna acknowledge
They're
us.
not gonna say you because they're not them true selves when they're already in that position. They've already done changed
Mm,
who they are. Now the ones who don't, they're gonna take a. Oh, that's the plain Jane I was looking for.
right.
Now whether will they come out like someone normal, walk up to you and stuff like that? Probably not because they still want to keep their image or
And that's
whatever. Yeah,
crazy.
it's so crazy. They want to keep their image, but once they know you and get to know you and stuff starts going along, yeah, now you're you're not playing Jane no more.
I'm glad that you said that because I wanted to clear that up. Because there's nothing wrong. I'm a plain Jane all day, every day. But it's
Me
like,
too. I'm playing.
it's something about when people have the conversations with me, because I might look a certain way to people. I might, and to me I might be plain Jane, but to somebody else they might be like, wow, crazy, right?
Yeah,
But
you're right.
stop. Obviously, like they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder and everything. So it's like you never really know what other people see in you, or the fact, like, I think my golden spots are more so come along with my personality and my conversation. I know that's probably like cliche to say, but I really do. I feel like my conversation gives me depth because I be talking. I be talking. But people won't know that if they just look at me, like if they see me on Instagram and they be like, oh, she pretty, right? They probably think, oh, that's all. But if they be like, oh, look at her bio. Look, she got like all these other pages. What is she talking about? What is she doing on other pages? Then you be like, oh, she got more to her than just the outside, right? Now some people, it's a hit or miss. They might look
That's
so great and be so empty.
that's so sad though.
It is sad.
I hate I hate people. No, I'll say hate is a strong word.
Oh yeah, it is
It's
strong. I
very
felt that.
very disliked that you don't have some kind of knowledge with your look. Like you ain't got. I ain't say you'd be Einstein, but just the basics.
I think some people had got, or maybe they grew up in a situation where they had got so used to people only acknowledging them for what they look like. Because it's really easy to get caught up in that, where people is always like, I will say, my mom humbled me so graciously. Like,
Shout out to
she
moms.
never, and I'm not saying that my mom think I'm ugly, because by far, well, she got some great looking kids. I'm saying she didn't make that a staple in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, where people would be like, "Oh, you should let her model," da da da, and she'd be like, "No, she's good." But my mom is a protector. You see all these other kids and TV stars that went into film and everything, and now they got documentaries on. You know what I'm saying? Like, their traumas and stuff. My mom was out there protecting me, being a mom, while other people be like, "Oh well, I don't want to say it. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. They'll put them in the R. Kelly situation. You know what I'm saying? And they'll do whatever they have to
You
do to get
yeah.
their kids to the top. But I was blessed in my situation not to have only the looks, but my mom made sure she instilled so many great things in her kids. You know what I'm saying? Because we all look, we're some damper young chaps, if you will. So I don't know. I do appreciate that part though about my upbringing and stuff like that. But yeah. So okay, has there ever been a point in time where you knew something, like, not being a hypocrite, because now we're at a different point of our lives, but like when
Mhm.
you were younger, was there anything that you hid from people, like that you were like wanting to talk to?
Uh,
Ah.
probably, I would say, I probably hid more of how much I cared than I did,
Mm.
more than anything. Like I showed them like I cared like a lot and by action stuff like that, but I probably hid more of, oh nah, it's really more than this.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, like as a kid in my position, I can't show you all that because I'm a kid,
Right, right.
So I would say that mostly. Like I really cared more as far as like if I was like an adult, like I could really do more for this virtue if I was in that position at the time.
Okay, so do you find that to be a disadvantage from, like, in that situation? Was that a disadvantage for you or something? That you couldn't express that to your fullest potential?
A little bit, yeah, because like I wanted to, but it kind of like it kind of took a toll on me more than the other person. Like, cause
Mm.
they'll start because a kid, it was hard to hide emotions. So
I'm
like,
glad you brought that up too.
at least seeing me, they'll be like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Nothing." It's like you don't seem like yourself, and then it's like I'll kind of just ball up in the shell, and now they're bored because I'm in my own little nonchalant, not really caring space because of I didn't communicate that.
Right.
Then when I did, they're like, "Well, you should have just said that. Like that's nothing to be like ashamed of caring about someone." But I understand what you're saying, and then but by that time they're already like in a mind space of moving on. So
Mm. That's crazy. All right, so now, now my question is, when you have, or where do you feel like you would have gotten the tools or the resources to have that emotional regulation? Because I think that's what you're basically saying. Like, you didn't know how to regulate that. Like, you would go inside yourself because it's like, oh, how do I express this? I don't know. Where do you feel like you should have got those key points from? If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
it makes sense a little bit.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the right answer.
Like, I know, like, some people be like, oh, we should have learned this in school. We should have learned this from our parents. We should have learned this from X, Y, and Z. Where do you think you would have gotten that most benefit from? Like, whether it's TV, parents, schools, counselors. I don't know. Like, where do you feel like that would have connected for you?
My dad.
Why you say that?
Oh, my dad don't care what comes out his mouth. So I think just that confidence to, not saying he doesn't care, but to not really care what comes out of his mouth, but it's the honest truth,
Mm-hmm.
and he deals with whatever it is that comes in front. So I think if I would have probably had some of that confidence back then with him, like speaking as far as like relationship wise, and he taught me, how to deal with that versus balling that up, I think some other things would have turned out better growing up. But yeah,
Do you okay? Because I like that you said that's your dad. Do you feel like only a male figure or whatever could have taught you that?
nah, I think just whoever's already, established that for themselves could probably teach you that.
Mm.
But I just know that's just how his personality was growing up. Like no matter what the situation was, like, look, I really hate you. Like I don't like the way you look. Like you really stink. I
Oh
think if
my!
you don't fix this, we're not gonna work.
That delivery is very wow.
But it's it sounds rough, but he was being honest and truthful when he was telling me stories like that, like to people, and it was like he didn't develop a nice way of approaching that until he got older
Mm.
and he remarried and stuff like that. So now he knows how
It's
to
different.
yeah, he still is rough, but it's nicer.
Okay. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. I feel like
You can't
people.
say that now.
You said
You
what?
can't say that to nobody now.
Why you say that?
You get slapped.
We live and we learn, though. And I feel like the idea of I can't change or I can't see myself another way is kind of crazy to me. No matter how old you are, I feel like you can always learn from somebody something, and you can always pick a spot in your life to be like, you know what, I don't like this about myself. Actually, I want to change and put in the actual work to do that. So that's cool that he did that. I don't know if it was for his benefit or somebody else's benefit, but either way, I mean, it's growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know how I am. Like if people rub me the wrong way, oh boy, I am out. I'm out of there because I don't. I just feel like I've worked hard too, you know.
Right.
So in that point in my life, I'm like, if you can't see that I'm not on this level with you, we ain't got nothing else to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be around each other if you feel like, oh, the only way you can have fun is if you take 30 shots and call me a lame ass because I'm not doing it. Like, that's not where I'm
Now I
at.
got a question for you. In a
Okay.
situation like that, would you even give them the courtesy of saying, "Yeah, this not gonna work," or would you
What,
just
like ghost them?
yeah? For me personally, in a situation like that, who I am now, if I'm in a situation like that, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just going.
You just gone.
Yeah, because I don't have nothing to explain to. We're grown adults. If I know we don't work and it's not gonna work, I don't have to explain to you why it's not gonna work because you already know because you already showed me. Whether it's through action or words that you this not gonna work, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
not gonna say nothing. Now, if it's something that was already built and we like had some time and stuff like that, and I feel like I respect you, I will give you the courtesy.
Also, if you don't respect them, you gonna ghost them.
Yes, because
Okay.
you already showed me you didn't you did it from the jump with your actions and words. So why would I give you? Of course, you want to respect everybody, but why would I give you the courtesy if you didn't give it to me? So now, but if I have someone I respected, they're not that person. Like intention may have been wrong in the wrong place, wrong time. Right now, yeah, I will let you know this. So maybe you could take what I said and learn from it,
Mm-hmm.
or just don't change at all, and you just kind of go one ear and one out the other. That's
Um,
just me personally.
I would say I'm more of a dramatic person when it comes to that because I do have a lot of feelings. Um, I'm very connected to my feelings. So if it gets to a point where I feel like somebody just keep on either doing me wrong or like not listening to me, I'm like, so you just gonna keep doing that? And I ask them questions like that just so you can kind of reflect on yourself. Like, am I tripping? Is she tripping? Like, I want people to analyze because I don't want people to keep doing the same things because that's insanity. Like, you think you finna get a
Oh
different
yeah.
result by just changing the person, but you're a trash person, and I need you to know that because I see it. You know what I'm saying? So I ask people, or if I get to the end of my rope, I'm done, or I say you're done, and then I do that. But I feel like that's after I've explained or I poured my heart out to you. Like, I don't like that. And if you feel like you can keep disrespecting me and keep on doing the things that I'm telling you that I'm either uncomfortable with or that you just have no concern about, because at that point you telling me, Taisha, I do not care about how you feel about this. I'm going to do me because I don't care about you for
Mm-hmm.
real. And I'm not saying that you have to do everything that I say, but it's more so like, do you care enough to take that into consideration? Maybe you don't do it as much, or maybe you just be like, you know what? I can tell that she is really uncomfortable with this. I'm going to relax on that because I actually do care about her. You know what I'm saying? So I think I give people a fair enough warning because if people listen, they'll see, like, or they read my face because I know my face tell a lot. That's been me
Yeah.
for my entire life. So for a person that isn't used to opening up, what would you, what tips or what advice would you give them to be able to be vulnerable with their partner? I cannot say that word. That word is so,
Vulnerable.
yes, that word is so hard. But what would you tell them, like, to help them build that trust with, I guess, with themselves first? I think you got to trust yourself first before you trust other people. But what would you say to them?
Oh man, that's that's a lot.
I know.
Like you said, it does start with yourself. It's more analyzing like how deep is whatever you have going on to where you can't open up and like it's not a race.
Mhm.
Take your time. Like find what really hurts and deal with that first because everything else gonna become easy after that. Everything else will just be like a band-aid. You just rip it off, rip it off, rip it off until you're ready for that point. And then when you get to that point, you have to realize that your mind and the world is gonna show you like replicas of that stuff that you went through
Mm-hmm.
through other people and other situations and stuff, and you just have to find some way to control it and cope with it. Like, I'm not in that situation no more. I am different. I am better. And then too, you don't want to put that on nobody else that you're gonna want to be with. You're just gonna hurt them. So
Right.
once you realize that for yourself, it'll help you open up. Whether it was a friendship, relationship,
Yeah.
pen pal, whatever it
You
is. So,
said a pen pal.
so
Okay.
I would say that helps. Yeah.
That's some really great advice. I know a few episodes back I had spoke on people showing up as this really the same person or the same persona or the same situation, right? And at points I thought I had healed from things, and watching the podcast back, my people were like, I don't think you've healed from that yet. And it was like, it was telling me that it was like, you say that you did, but if that was the case, then you wouldn't feel like that. And I was like, you know what, y'all right. Cause it sound good. It sound good to, oh, I'm healed, I'm good, I'm past that. But it's like hearing what you just said and what they say is like, I feel like that's gonna initially help me like get to that point. You know, this why I do this, because it's so, you never know what you're gonna hear, and that just really clicked with me. But
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's going to pop up. Like, so you're going to get to that point. You're going to go through this process, figuring out, analyzing it, and then you get to a point where you feel like, all right, I've dealt with it.
Yeah.
Now, God is going to position something out there in the world for you. Like, all right, have you really dealt with it?
Could the test.
Boom.
Right.
I put these people in this situation over here, and then you're going to have to face it.
Yeah.
And if you really have, you're going to help, or you're going to fold. Because you can help out the situation over there, that shows a lot of growth.
Yeah.
But if you fold and maybe panic or, react how you did then in that situation, that tells that you're still holding on to something.
That's crazy. Like, cause I know that whole ideology when I'm asking for things from the universe, and I'm like, yeah, I need strength, I need wisdom, I need this, I need that. But in order for you to get that, you gotta really kind of put the opposite in front of you and be like, so deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I just didn't want to put that part into it when it came to like the relationship part, because like I switch like a light. I be like, yeah, I want to be in a relationship. Nah, I'm good. I want to be in a relationship. I'm straight. Because it's like, so I be having like kind of internal battles with myself sometimes, and I'm like, I think I'm ready, and then I talk to people and I'll be like, no, I'm not ready.
I mean, it'd be like that. I mean, stuff in life make that switch happen, but
Yeah.
it's still technically still up to you. At the end of the day,
I'm getting old, Jamal.
you're not old.
I'm not old, but I'm getting there.
I'm old.
Yeah, you are. You said it. I was just agreeing. I was.
That's funny, huh?
Yeah, I thought so. All right. Anyways, how do you feel about having opposite sex friends?
So crazy. It's a very contradictive topic. It's a very contradictive topic.
Put it on the table.
Some people could dish it out and can't dish it in a nutshell. Yeah, you got female friends, but can my boy best friend still be cool and chill at the crib? Who? Where?
Oh, so you're the hypocrite.
No, I'm not saying. I've learned to grow. I used to be the hypocrite, yes.
Okay.
I've had experiences of being the hypocrite.
What event changed that for you?
Like, to where...
That you aren't the hypocritical, oh yeah, I can have female friends, but you can't have a male friend. What changed that for you, where it's like, all right. And then what direction would both of y'all not have opposite sex friends, or would you be okay with that?
The situation that changed that with me was I realized my brother, he growing up had a lot of opposite sex friends,
Mm-hmm.
but he had a girlfriend that kind of didn't play that like
Mm.
at all. Like it used to get real bad just hearing it and stuff like that, and he had to sit down and talk to her, and because like he kind of put it in like terms we would understand, like old school terms, like all right, if we all had the same sex friends, we all are kind of like extinct animals.
Okay.
Like, what could you possibly learn from just the female
Thank you.
species?
All right.
What could you possibly learn from just having male friends?
Right.
So it's not about just, oh, you just want female friends because you blase blase, whatever your intentions are. It's everybody has something different to give you, and you maybe just kind of talk better. You might have better conversations. You might have, I don't know, you might have something that they might need to hear
Mm-hmm.
and stuff that they're going through. So, now I understand that, and it's helped me a lot.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
No, because I 100% agree with that. I've always been the type to I don't. It's not that I don't care, but my point of view is if that person helps you or makes you feel a certain type of way, and that doesn't have to be like, oh, you're cheating on me with your, what I'm saying. It don't have to even be to that extent, but I think sometimes people underestimate the power of that friendship or what that woman could be doing for your girl. And when I say that, it's like you could be giving this man a spot where it's like maybe you don't want to talk to your girlfriend about all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because there's times where I wouldn't want to go to my boyfriend about certain things, and it's like because maybe that's not the conversation that I'm ready to have with him. So those male figures that I respect, they respect me. I know that they're going to give me sound advice, and they're not going to say anything to tarnish your image or my image. You know what I'm saying? Like they're actually there for you as a friend, and they understand that male point of view. Because I think people be so quick to be like, oh, because they have this and that, they gonna try to this and do that. I don't know if that's an insecurity or if you've been through things, but it's like everybody's not on that type of timing.
Exactly.
So I agree with you. Everybody has something to offer, different to offer. What is? Where is it coming? You're up in the.
All right, he jumped down here. You want
Look,
to?
you come down here. I am done. We are wrapping this up. I'm not playing. Ooh. Okay. I don't know if men have this, but do y'all ever have like a envy like? How do I say it? Give me a second. Your male friends, all right, because I know this happens a lot with females where they get jealous or they feel like they're in competition. Do y'all ever feel like y'all in competition with one another?
I don't know. That's not something that pops up in my head. Like when I'm around like my male friends,
Mm-hmm.
nothing pops up like that as far as competition. But me just thinking as like a normal dude, I would assume so.
Okay.
They always like, especially someone who comes from. It just depends what situation you come from, like, and then what kind of person you are. Like, I'm not the type to be jealous of somebody hustle. Like,
Right,
I'm
right.
gonna let you go get it. Like, if anything, that's inspiration for me to go get whatever I'm trying to achieve. Um, but I don't think that's a good trait to have.
What, that jealousy?
Yeah, what are you jealous for? There's nothing to be jealous of if the goal, your goal in life is to be successful,
Right.
not to be better than somebody else. The goal is to be successful in your own way and
That's well put.
be productive. Like, I don't know, that's childish.
Okay.
It's childish. Like that's why I've never been like when you brought it up. I literally couldn't think of anything. Like, so I had to put it in like a perspective if I was in that shoes. Like,
Oh, so you speaking? If I was a normal guy, yeah, maybe, but
yeah, like I couldn't think of nothing. I never wanted to be in competition about my life,
right.
comparing it to somebody else's life.
And why not? Just because, or what? Is there a specific reason?
Nah, because I'm going to be successful my own way.
All right. You heard it here first. I only ask that because I know, I'm pretty sure you know too, it's more common for women to be like,
Oh, yeah. Like,
pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. And it's like, relax.
I don't want to pick you now.
You know, and it's, why? What? So, okay, because I don't know, in my head it's making sense. So, a girl who is more so like, you know, outwardly with her expressions or whatever, would y'all more so go for her or more so like the one that's like, they're there, but they're not,
Me, I'm going for option number 2.
okay.
Now, option number 1, that might just be who they are.
Right.
And they actually have good intentions, but you
It's
coming
not your
off,
cup of tea.
yeah, coming off like that off rip, like just knowing my personality, like I'm very quiet and I'm not quiet, but I'm very neutral.
Reserved.
Yeah, reserved. Like
Yeah.
I'm walking through the club and you with your girls and stuff. And you like, damn, you like, yo, yeah. I'm like, the fuck with you?
Right.
Versus if I walk over there and I see your friend in the back like chilling, sipping her drink, just vibing. I'm gonna come over there and say something, you know. But I don't need all that hoorah up. Comfortable, yeah. We can get all the hoorah off the rip. But
So have you ever seen that within your friend group then?
yes,
That's what I want to pick on then.
yes.
Cause like I really do understand, like I'm not a jealous person. I don't care. If anything, I'm gonna help you promote your business, type thing. So within your friend groups, what are some things that they kind of was like, oh, I'm big dog over.
I don't know.
I'm
It's
big
just
dog.
simple stuff. They flashy, want to pull up, be loud, want to brag about what they do. Like, I mean, that's cool,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just not for me. Like, you could do it. Like,
Okay.
and then it's like, it's crazy. Like, I've been in situations like that in my friend group. That stuff is happening, right? We've been in situations, stuff like that happening. The girl will walk up, like, I guess she's interested in somebody in the group. But, him being first, of course, I caught her attention. But, like, she literally would walk past him and walk here and just be like, you're not enjoying yourself here? Like, that's it. Nah, yeah, I'm just kind of chilling, like, just vibing out. Now it's a conversation.
Right.
And now jealousy kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
Now he wants to try even harder. Like,
It's so crazy.
it's so dude, like, and I like really, as a guy, I could talk to him like that. I'm like, dude, you see how, like, not to brag, you see how easy this is? Like, see how you don't gotta make it hard? All you do is just sit here, be yourself. You don't have to show out for nobody.
Yeah.
They don't want to see you show out. You can show out for them once you have them. Cause now it's just y'all two.
Yeah. I agree with that. And it's crazy that you said it. Something like that happened to my friends in college, and it was like we came up on a situation where it was like I got him, right? Like they seen him. It was like, oh yeah, that's mine. Dude didn't want her, and it was like she kept trying, just kept on. I'm like, you're embarrassing yourself. Please stop it. like you gotta know that this man don't want you, and it's okay. Like it's plenty other people, and I'm just like, relax. All right, yeah. I don't do animals, but I always found that so crazy because I'm like, bro, it's not a competition. But if he don't want you, if he not choosing you, if he not picking you, he don't want you. Don't matter how much you, oh, so try to sweet talk him, and it's crazy. That's so crazy. That's parallel. Weird. Dang.
I have a question.
What is your question?
Do you think it's, I want to say better. I don't know how to phrase the question, but it's like, is it more of a positive for a guy to choose a female, or like a?
Thank you.
My bad.
You good?
I didn't want to boy it out to be a guy to choose a female or a female to choose a guy. Like,
okay. I feel like just like you have timid girls, you have timid guys. Me, I've been in situations where I've had the opportunity to experience both. Yeah, so
please do tell.
oh, I will tell. My last boyfriend, I chose him. I thought he was really attractive. and I wanted to know more. I was intrigued. He is very quiet, and that that got me. And I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't I don't know when I'm going to speak to him again, you know. So because we did go to two different schools, kinda. I
Mm.
met him in high school, but I seen him at the end. Like we was graduating type stuff, like graduation practice week. And I was like, oh, who that? And I tell this story a lot, but yeah, I seen him and I talked to him because I was like, if he's not gonna say something, and I know that I'm attracted to him, what's the worst? What's the worst that can happen? Oh, I got a girlfriend. Oh, I'm not interested. People do that anyway.
Yeah,
People do that
exactly.
anyway. So I was like, yeah, that's what I did, and it worked out for me. I would say for the people who have approached me, um,
Good luck.
I mean, it was cool until it was like it felt like it was a game at points, and like they'll come up to me, we'll talk, I would start to like them, and then something happens, um, usually involving other females and stuff. It done happened a couple times, so it's like, why did you approach me if you really didn't want me for real? So yeah, so I guess in my experience, choosing somebody worked out better than them choosing me because it didn't seem like they wanted me. So
See, me, someone who knows you, like growing up, when someone approach you, it's like good luck. she already, she already coming. Like you better have a 800 credit score. You better have your ducks in a row. That's all I'm saying. Just
I
knowing
feel
you're
like, yeah,
doing it.
like just don't play with me because I feel like at that point, if you know that, hi, I am interested in Taisha, can I get that one? Yeah, I feel like you need to be ready because I don't think a lot of people know what I like. So it's like if you come in with the energy and you know what I'm saying, it's like I'm gonna like that. I like attention. I like people to listen to me. I like people who actually have conversations with me. I hate a boring man. Just because you're quiet doesn't mean you're boring. It's what can we talk about? What can we do? Things of that nature. So it's like, and just like me, a lot of people might see me and be like, why does she look so mean or da 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 da? But as soon as you talk to me, I'm smiling. Like, but that's me.
Yeah,
And I've always been like that. So it's like, you never know how somebody's actually going to be until you break the ice. So,
yeah,
yeah. But, yeah, in my experience, people who came up to me, they just play. But in my experience, again, when I go to them,
yeah.
yeah. So,
We had different experiences. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Growing up, it was. I knew where I was getting when I approached someone, but being approached by them was like I already like walking. I'm already just going down the list of what it could be like options. Like them walking towards me,
Mm-hmm.
especially if I don't know them or I've never like had the experience of them
Yeah.
or knowing them. I'm like, she here for looks. She want to see what I can give her.
Was that your automatic like thinking process?
Yes, cause growing up, I had friends and people who knew me, but altogether, I was someone who still like was kind of like out the way. I wasn't really with everybody,
Yeah.
so I still was kind of out the way at moments and stuff to myself. So when someone did approach me, I'm like, someone told you about me, you thought it was cute, and you want
Mm.
to see what I'm about and see if what you idolize me being. And then when it's not it, you kind of go.
So you prefer going to them? Okay.
I mean, me approaching them throws them off
Yeah.
because I know my personality and I know who I am. Me, you don't know what I'm gonna say.
I feel like that could be the way that you just kind of listed off, like, oh, what are they here for? Da 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 da. That's the same feeling that you gave, like, to said person. If you walking up to them and it's like, oh, like the preconceptions, I guess you could say, is like, oh, he looks nice and da 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 da. But it's like when you don't really know their personality or anything really outside of what like other people would say. Because I mean, we grew up in the same area, so it's
Yeah.
like everybody know how you were. Well, at least what you looked like, and
Yeah, nobody knew.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I'm kind of getting at. So it's like, why is this man coming up to me? That is a real thing. Like, why are you? What do you want from me? Because you can't be here to talk to me. Because no, like being for real, like that is a real thing. Like you have so many options, and we know that you do because we literally see women falling for you, like literally. So it's like, oh, stop it. But no, that's how it was growing up. That everybody knew who you was. The dreadhead, freckle looking, yeah, like you was that person. And it's like if you was to come up to people and they was like, he finna come talk to me. Oh, what? Like that is confusion. Cause why me?
I'm just a nice little old guy.
They wouldn't know that though. Especially I know this is bad, but profiling and stereotyping off the bat, like that's not what you was giving. You wasn't giving, oh, I'm about to be nice. It was, I mean, I'm not saying that you look like a boy, but I'm just saying like usually the more attractive men had a blown up head and you don't know what they want. So
Right.
that's what it was. But getting to know you and getting to talk to you and stuff is different because you're not always your looks. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I was nowhere near my look. I think I was probably the opposite. He was like,
They didn't expect it.
yeah.
They didn't expect
When I
it.
explained to them, they're like their eyes open. They're
Yeah.
like you're attractive and you're kind of weird. Like,
Oh, kind of weird. That's all they gave
yeah, kind
you.
of.
That's
weird.
crazy because you
Or
weird.
kind of weird or different. A little weird.
You are weird, but it's okay. It's fine. Okay. How do your friends show up for you when you're going through hard times?
I don't know, just being there, presence. That's the big
Like physically?
yeah, being there. Well, not physically, just I'm just able to reach out to them. I don't know, cause sometimes I think just a presence helps you talk about it, cause you already don't want to talk about it, cause on whatever level you think you can't talk about it with nobody, but just someone a trustable presence, you're eventually gonna
Open up.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely somebody's presence.
Were you always like that? That is. You've been through a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Who was that person that like you felt like, yeah, I can open up to them. I could trust them with this and that.
It's crazy. The person has changed a lot because
You said the person has.
the person that's been
Okay.
that person has changed
Oops.
a lot. Um, if I had to say now,
Mhm.
it will probably be my friend Hill.
Okay.
His name is Hill. He's actually in the military with me, and he's from out here.
Really? That's so crazy.
I find that very interesting because I'm like, Covington is the middle of nowhere. So for you to say you're from Covington, I started questioning him. I said, where are you from? Where do you live? What school did you go to? He said he went to Alcovey.
What?
Said he graduated 22.
Okay. This roommate. It's not a roommate. Is it a roommate?
Roommate.
Yeah, it's not. Is it?
I probably
even?
mentioned him.
I'm about
before.
to say.
Probably mentioned to you before. Yeah.
Okay. Cause I'm about to say,
Oh.
he young.
This is the one
Right?
The one I showed you. I was like, hey, he's from Alcovey too. He was like, why you keep showing me the video?
You say it like that. Why do you
Yeah,
have
we
no
just
clothes
showing me.
on? You're gonna catch pneumonia with the P. Okay, Hill. That's cool. What were those things that you felt like, yeah, I could trust this man?
He's not afraid to open up about stuff he has going on.
Okay, so it's like a reciprocation.
Yeah.
Okay. Aw.
Like he opens up to me about stuff he has going on, to be blatantly honest about it, and you know, I may not know what he has going on
Yeah.
or stuff like that, but you know, he sees me as just like an older presence, like someone who's just may have been through it, or if not, you know, the best route to point me in to
Yeah.
possibly do that. And then being that we grew up, like you said, from the same area, it we grew up in the same area. You know, we've kind of experienced the life out here, like what it's
Okay.
like and stuff like that. So for him to be out there, for us going to California,
Yeah.
like like you say, he's never left here either, like his entire
Mm.
career. So for us to go out there and experience that together and things like that, you know, it's something I definitely will open up about a lot of stuff and trust.
Now that leads me to like, you know how most people be like, oh, men keep everything in and they don't like to share anything and things of that nature. Like, do you, how do I say, do you feel like that's a false narrative?
Yes, 100%.
Why do you think they try to paint this image that men are like so encapsulated in their selves? Like, why do they feel like men can't express themselves, or do you feel like maybe this is a new thing?
I think I think it's something. I think it's this is something new
Mm-hmm.
because this goes back to, like you said, how people grew up, who their influences were.
Right.
Like, go from grandpa, you're gonna be a man, man. Then you go here, like, yeah, I'm gonna be a man, man, but you're gonna do it my way. Now you're a father. Do you want to experience what your parents went through, or do you want to change it?
Okay. That's legit. I can accept that. Cause
So
I'm like the men that I surround myself with, like they're so open, like, and I don't know if that's my energy attracting that type of person, but like I don't think there's nobody that I have in my circle that wouldn't open up to me. Like they just, I don't know. I guess I'm trustworthy. I don't know. I don't know what they be feeling, but it's just like to be that person on the receiving end, especially when I have a lot of male friends that confide in me about either what they going through, their relationships, how they feeling on the inside, and things of that
mm-hmm.
nature. Is like, damn, y'all really out here trusting me for real. Like y'all really and take what I have to say and like use it. Like I see people actively using the advice, and that feels so good for me. Cause
That's
it's
good
like,
though.
dang, like I'm just Taisha, man. Like I go through stuff, but it's like it's also it's a lot of stuff that I haven't been through. But I just feel like I get downloads. Oh, y'all don't know nothing about that, but I get downloads from the universe, and it guides me to say the right things. I guess, especially when people need it,
Yeah,
because I'm
it happens.
so
I'm saying
I'm
it,
so
you don't, because
empathetic.
sometimes
Yeah.
you don't know the situation, but you know you know what not to do. So this is what the
Mm.
path you can take to not avoid doing the wrong thing.
Right.
So as long as you know what not to do, you could. That's why I said it. Like that's why I said every. This is why I tell people because they get confused when I say this. I think I've told you this before. Life is simple if you make
Yeah.
it simple.
Yes.
Like people come to these scenarios. I literally, oh my god, I gotta. My baby daddy, he's this and that. He's right. He don't take care of nothing. He's this and that. He doesn't do this and that. So leave. But I can't because you know this is going on. Okay, handle the situations, then leave. End of the day, the answer is for you to leave.
Yeah.
Now, the details that I don't know because of whatever other stuff you don't want to tell me, that's fine.
Right.
You have to deal with that. But end of the day, if you don't leave, then you never wanted to.
Right. No. No. When I tell you, I understand that way more than you even understand. Last season, I had an episode called "Stucker Staying," and I made a poem about it. And it's like, are you stuck or are you just staying? Because yeah, you might be complaining about this, that, and the third, but if you're not leaving, you want to be there. And I don't know what your reason is or what, like you said, your complexities in that, but ultimately, the choice is yours.
That's what I'm saying.
So
It don't matter what it is. Life is not hard. Even people make it hard. That's why we have decision making.
you know why I think people make it hard though? I don't think people understand like the God complex that we all have. within us, because we all are images of that, and we are the creator essentially. Like, we have that. And I think that some people think that, oh, things just happen because they happen. No, they happen because you made it happen, because you are the creator of your own
Exactly.
reality. So, but I don't think that people are knowledgeable in that area where they can trust that they have that power within themselves. Like, but that's, obviously it's case by case and person by person, whatever. But to be the artist in your own painting is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I get excited about this type of stuff because it's like a lot of people don't get it. Like, you said, it's so simple. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, don't, because you got free will to an extent. Depending on how you looking at it.
Well, I don't.
What you mean?
I work for the United States government, so
You do.
my free will is limited.
Yes.
So I can be like,
But
hey,
why is it limited? Because you chose that route,
I
right?
want to say this. No, you can't. We won't pay you. All right, I'll shut up.
I will shut up.
I won't say nothing.
But that came with the terms and conditions of that route you chose. So ultimately, you did kind of choose it. Like, it's layers.
I know. I was trying to go away from you.
Oh, no.
I chose it.
No, that's.
Side question: would you ever join?
No, I wouldn't. Like, that would have to be my absolute last resort.
I see you in the Air Force.
I couldn't see me in none of that.
It's so crazy though. Your mentality has like the leadership like mentality. Like, yeah, I'm rough. I'm gonna make sure this gets done. Like, I'm gonna be anal about this stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm still a person, a human.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of those in there. We either have Joe Navy or we have people who came in here, how they came in, how they was out here. There's no a lot of in betweens. It's those rare few.
I appreciate that compliment. That was a very high compliment. Thank you. I don't know. I never saw myself doing that. That's crazy. What made you want to ask me that? Just because of that?
Yeah, your personality gave like you could have been in some leadership out there.
I do feel like one day I do deserve to be in a leadership role. I mean, I do have a lot of learning to do and growing and things. I saw that last year. I don't know if you know, I made short films. I'm getting back into it at the top of the year. But last year when I
didn't get a call. I didn't get a call about my debut, but
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna bite my tongue on that one, cause
what?
Cause you know why you ain't get no call. Alright. When you're in a relationship, what do you feel like your responsibilities is to uphold your relationship? Or how do you do that? How do you show that?
I wouldn't see it as a responsibility because at the end of the day, if you guys both want it, you're gonna want it, and you're gonna make it happen. So I wouldn't see it as a responsibility. I would just see it as just this idea that you guys want for each other. If you guys want it to work, it's gonna work. If not, it's gonna fail. Just put it simple like that.
In Landis terms, okay.
Yeah. So the responsibility part, because like, yeah, I'm responsible for making sure I'm doing, like, going to work, paying bills, make sure her mental's okay, make sure she's physically okay. But I don't have to do that.
What makes you want to do that?
What makes me want to do it?
Yeah. That's essentially what I'm asking. Just, like, more so, because if I was in a relationship, I do feel like my next relationship, I want to be dedicated to what we're building. So in that, I do have responsibilities that I do need to uphold, like, especially as a grown woman who wants to expand on her skill set, want to get more knowledgeable in areas that I'm not already knowledgeable in, like, or sprucing up things, like, because things do change. I feel like in that area, what is making me want to keep coming back and showing up for this person? Because that is my responsibility, because we essentially have made this connection that we both said, okay, I'm going to be your girlfriend, I'm going to be your boyfriend. But if you're not going to uphold that, like, what is the point? Do you get what I'm saying or where I'm coming
Oh
from?
yeah.
Okay.
I think I can answer this,
Okay, cool.
and you might find my answer weird.
I find you weird. Just
You and your squirrel friends out there.
I know. My cousins need to chill out. Okay, so yeah. Go ahead and answer the question. Go ahead. However you see fit.
Instinct.
Mm. All
Because
right.
your body and your emotions and everything in your body is connected.
Yes.
So when stuff like that is happening, if it's not instinct for you to do it, you probably not in the right place.
Mm.
I mean, it's just me speaking because if you wanted to do it, you'll naturally be handling that stuff without actually, in your head, like, I have to make sure, or like making it like prioritizing, like, how you have like a goals list, a prioritized list. No, you should instinctively, by instinct, want to do it.
Okay. I'll accept that. I'll accept
Now,
that.
I will accept like the first communication you guys are, like maybe you guys have a conversation about it, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it should be instinct.
Because either you want to do it or you don't want to do it.
Exactly. So after that, it's just instinct. Like if you understand and really truly understand what both sides are, it should be just instinct for you guys.
So in a way, you saying that if you're in a relationship, it should be habitual. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll accept that. I'll take that.
Because if not, that's like,
Why are you doing it? Why are you
why
here?
are you doing it? And then after that, it's repeated conversation. It's like talking to your child.
Right. And we're not parents to our spouses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so high on that. I am not finna mother a grown man. Especially when it didn't come from me. Like, I imagine myself when I am a parent, I'm always gonna be there for my kids for whatever. That's how I want to be, and I know like it's always like a difference between doing something and being something, and saying that you will be something. But that's my reality right now. Like I only can speak on what I would want for my kids, but I definitely would want them to be able to come to me even at their grown age. Like if they need advice or they need to know something or they feel comfortable enough to be like, yeah, my mom gonna know what to do. Like,
Exactly. That's how my folks are. My
yeah,
mom, no matter what it is.
yeah. And if they don't know or if I don't know, then I'm gonna find out. Like I feel like you're supposed to be that for your kids. Like I feel like that's so important. Like they got two for a reason, and some people are even blessed like me to have more. So it's like to have that relationship or that something that's so established with your kid that they trust you enough to take your advice or to come to you when they need you or just to be comforted. Like you winning, right?
If not, you'll feel some. If not, you'll feel some type of way when they don't, and stuff is going on, and you're wondering why they haven't come up to you. Then you start questioning, your teachings, and maybe the way maybe some of the things you've done before that led up to this point.
I feel like that's the way I want to raise my children. I want them to be free thinkers. I want them to know that mama is not always right, but here's what I would do. And I say that because I would hate for even like any of my parents to be like, dang, I failed because she didn't take the map that I gave her. Maybe she, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I would hate for somebody to beat themselves up. I feel like you do the best that you can with what you have, and I will always be grateful for my teachings. But there are things that we don't have the same. No single person has the same exact experience. So in that, I will take what you gave me. I will take what has been done to me or has been done for me, and I will formulate my own. But you don't ever beat yourself up because your kid's not following the same roadmap.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're not a failure as a parent. I think a lot of people put a lot of pressure on that too. Like, you're not a failure just because they chose a different way.
Yeah, and now, and just speaking for myself, I'm a person just growing up. if I don't know it, I'm not. Even if I don't know, I'm not gonna ask for help.
What
Cause
you mean?
what's the point of what's how are you gonna learn something if you're gonna keep asking for help?
I feel like initial guidance is something that we all seek.
That's true, but knowing that you could get the raw information or whatever it is on your own is part of the journey of growing.
That is on your own, slick. Because okay, you don't go to your parents, but you go to the internet. Somebody wrote it. Somebody made that video. Like somebody, nothing is on your own.
Well, yeah, I would say yeah. I say some initial guidance, but
Yeah,
I like figuring stuff on my own.
and that's
It's
cool.
fun. Like not sound crazy weird, but it's
It's not.
fun. It's like you're figuring out more about yourself that you don't know about yourself.
Mhm.
Like the more I don't know makes me want to figure it out
Right.
more. So that journey of trying to figure out whatever it is just it's interesting, and then you kind of now I could pass now stuff like that I could pass on.
Mhm.
Like like growing up, I want to be the parent to where like I want to act like I don't know, just to see like give them
What
some
they would
initial,
do?
yeah, how they would react. Would they maybe try to figure out their own? Maybe I do give them like a little guidance, a little hint, just to see how they react to different situations.
Now, how old? Like, what age range are you speaking on for this scenario?
This scenario,
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, we all have different stages.
yeah, I would say I wouldn't know the age group, but just when they're able to comprehend, like, I'm a kid, this is mommy, this is daddy, this is this is
Mhm.
that. When they get to that age, I think I could be like, see if they could do just small things like, daddy, I don't know how to open a jar of pickles.
Mhm.
I don't either, but you know,
These kids they gonna take y'all up. I just
yeah.
seen you open this jar yesterday.
Dad, I just seen you open it. Now this is the different thing they could say. Dad, but I seen you twist it real hard to the left, and you popped it up. Or Dad, I seen you go in the drawer and grab the can opener. So you just explained to me how to open
Mhm.
it, which means you comprehend how to open it.
Would you help them if they are too weak to open this?
Oh yeah, they're too weak. Yeah, they're too weak to open it. Yes,
Like,
I'm
if this
open
jar
it.
is whooping their ass, are you gonna open this jar for them?
Yeah, but if they can decide in their head, that,
Okay.
if they can decide in their head, like they see me do a scenario to where I did this,
Mhm.
you're just lazy in your
So
own
you
head.
want to see your kid critical think?
Yes.
Okay.
I want them to
That's
be,
fair.
that's number one thing. I want to be critical thinkers because a critical thinker is a healthy thinker. A healthy thinker gonna turn you into a very productive person. Like
Okay. I'll accept that.
one thing my kids will be is a hustler.
All right. What are your closing thoughts and takeaways from our conversation today?
Closing thoughts and takeaways?
Yeah.
Well, being gone for 50 years.
50 years is a long time.
I kind of learned a lot more about you than the growth of you, me being gone. Because I know we've already had conversations, but you really have grown, and like just doing this is like showed a lot of growth for like what you really want to do, and know more about piecing your brain, for a future therapist or somebody like that. These topics like are good for maybe these might come up one day and I'll be able to help somebody.
Yeah, just throw on the podcast. Go watch that. Y'all be good. Y'all will be good. No, I appreciate that. I do work on a lot of self growth, and I just feel like it's always important to reflect and, especially to have these conversations with you guys, just because y'all teach me stuff as well, and I love perspective. It's such a unique thing, I guess you could say. So yeah. But anyways,
Any last comments from me?
not with this almost dead battery, so I'm gonna, cause I see it at the top. So I don't. Okay, guys. So I want to thank you for coming out here today. And sitting out here and doing our little chat and
No
giving
problem,
us a
no
man's
problem.
perspective on things.
No problem at all. I'm glad to be here.
So yeah, guys, that's really all we have today. I'm Taisha. This is Jamal, and we promise we won't bite our tongue. See you guys next time. Bye. And that's it.